This follows 2 consecutive days of marching in Sacramento, as well as a group that broke off from the protesters last night and looted and burned shops in the downtown plaza, caused extensive damage to the Macy's store, and then to various midtown businesses that were broken into and looted. You can see our great strength here, and they're adding to their numbers. They've got reinforcements moving in. Okay, there's a scuffle over this man's bicycle, and he fell down as they were struggling over it. They've thrown the bike over there. I'm sure they can tell you a bicycle can be used as a weapon, but I don't know if that's where they took it or not. This is a very tense scene.